Cooking, where you see cooking from my point of view. So today we're going to make Pollo all'Aretina. It's also called Aretina Chicken, for those who don't speak Italian, like me. This dish supposedly originated from a town that's located just southeast of Florence. They say the hometown of Michelangelo. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just kind of what I read online. So, but anyway, this chicken is kind of simmered in a white wine with some mushrooms and garlic and onions and a little bit of chicken stock. You kind of let it simmer after you've browned the chicken. And then the way I prepared it is I made just a standard risotto, and then I poured the risotto over the Aretina chicken and covered it and let it rest, so that way the risotto could soak up the remaining juice in that Aretina chicken and kind of get a good flavor. It turned out incredible. Now the one thing I would do is, you'll see when I'm reviewing the ingredients, I'll say that I used 1.5 cups of the risotto. If you're going to use as much chicken as I did, I would really recommend going to 2 cups of risotto. You needed a little more risotto in the dish, trust me. You'll love this dish, it's great. So let's take a look at our ingredients so we can get started cooking. Alright, we're going to run through the ingredients real quick for our Pollo all'Aretina, also called Aretina chicken, or sometimes referred to as antique chicken. So of course, we're going to have chicken. Now, I've got 3 breasts here. We're only going to use 2, and we're going to cut these into large chunks. We'll take a look at those when we get them going on the stove. In our chicken, we're also going to have some mushrooms. I'm going to slice these up. We're going to use probably 2/3 of the onions in our chicken and save the others for our the risotto piece of this, because we're making Pollo all'Aretina over risotto. Of course, we're going to have garlic. Sorry if you hear my cat meowing. We're going to have some salted butter, some basil. Of course, anytime we make risotto, we have chicken stock. Now we're going to use some of this in our chicken as well. Probably use about 1.5 cups of our risotto, salt, pepper, and everything. White wine. We're going to use a dry white wine. I'm using Pinot Grigio. Some of that's going to go in the risotto. Some of it's going to go in the chicken. Of course, we always have our Bellucci olive oil as well. I'm going to break away and get my garlic chopped up, my mushrooms sliced, and get the chicken broth on the stove on back burner, get it warmed up, then we'll be back. I'm set back up over my stove. What I've done here is I've kind of cut the chicken into chunks. This is just shy of 2 pounds of chicken, just weighed it out. Salt and peppered it pretty heavily, olive oil in the pan, heating up. And we're just going to lightly brown this chicken. Again, lightly brown it because it's going to cook in the sauce that we're going to make here in just a little bit. Really, it's not a sauce. It's pretty much just white wine and some other ingredients. But it will get done in that mix. So again, our goal here is just to lightly brown our chicken. I'm going to spread these out, turn my heat up to medium-high, brown it on all sides, then take it back out. So when this gets done, we'll be back. So our chicken is done. As you can see here, it's just got a nice little bit of color to it, not very much, didn't want it too dark. So what I'm going to do is throw this up in the microwave just so it's out of the way and it kind of stays warm. We come back, we're going to use our pan that we made our chicken in to kind of prepare a few other things, and we'll throw the chicken back in. At the same time, we're going to work on our risotto. Okay, now it's time to get our chicken alla Aretina going. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add just a little bit of olive oil to our pan here. Then we are going to sweat out our onions. We're going to use a pretty good bit of onions here. That's about right. We're going to reserve some of these onions for our risotto. Helps if you turn the heat on, folks. Turn the heat on your burner and your onions will sweat better. Add just a little bit more olive oil. So what I'm going to do, I think my bottle of olive oil is about empty, and it is. Thank God I have a backup. We're going to let the onions cook 3 or 4 minutes. Our onions have been sweating for 3, 4, 5 minutes, who knows. We're going to say 3, 4, 5 minutes. In with our garlic. Pretty good bit of garlic right there. We're coming in with our mushrooms as well. We are going to continue to cook these for, let's say we're going to give this 5 minutes. Okay, our mushrooms were done. What I did is I added, 3/4 to 1/2 cup of white wine. Then I added 3/4 cup, 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of chicken stock in here as well. I've had the chicken stock heating up on the back burner. Sorry guys, I was doing this while I was talking and thought I had the camera going, and I didn't. Just the joy of a one-man show. So what I'm going to do is I've got my heat turned up a little bit. Once I no longer smell the alcohol, the chicken's going back in, and this will go down on simmer for 25 minutes. So, trying to get my heat up here, folks, so I can get this boiling more or less, or near boiling. That'll bring the alcohol out of it real quick. Now, mushrooms are a palate. They do have good flavor, but generally they take on the flavors of whatever it is you cook them in. So white wine, chicken stock, onions, garlic. Oh my gosh, those mushrooms are going to taste great. So this is going to cook for just a couple minutes, and we'll be back. You can probably see our dish now is starting to boil, bubble, boil, trouble, and toil. I no longer smell the alcohol, so I'm going to reach up in here, grab my chicken. Chicken goes right into the pool, juice and all. We're going to stir this up. I'm going to put this on the back burner, and this is just going to simmer for 20 minutes or so, which is perfect because that's about how long it's going to take us to get our risotto done. For our risotto, I have 2 tablespoons of salted butter in my pan. Thought I had my burners all leveled, and you can see it's all running to the back again. Gotta love cheap old stoves. Well, anyway, got my heat on medium, butter's melted. We're gonna, I almost came in with risotto. That would have messed everything up, right? We're gonna come in with onions. This is just a red onion. That's probably enough. We're gonna sweat this down for 3-4 minutes until they start to become translucent. Okay, our onions are sweating away. I had just a little bit of garlic left from our other dish, so I'm going to use what little bit I had in this just to give it a little more flavor. So once that starts to, my onions are just starting to become a little bit translucent. Once the garlic starts to become fragrant, we'll be back. Okay, our garlic, can really smell it. The onions are looking good. So now I have 1.5 cups of risotto. That will go in. Stir all this up, and the risotto will now cook for 2 or 3 minutes. Risotto has been cooking for 2 minutes. Now we're going to come in with 3/4 cup of wine. We're going to let this soak into our risotto. Now we've made risotto a number of times on this show. I've got it down to where my risotto comes out really good every time. And again, this risotto is very, very simple, and is really just intended to serve as a palate for our chicken that you can see back there simmering away. Every now and then I give it a quick stir. Once our wine absorbs completely, we'll start dipping in our chicken stock. Nice and simple. You know what? I'd say our wine's absorbed enough. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come in with chicken stock, just 1 scoop. Stir, 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 cook, cook, cook. When it is all done, then we'll add another, and another, and another. We'll keep adding chicken stock. And when the risotto is tender, then we will be back. Our chicken's been simmering. It's just about done. Actually, it probably has simmered long enough, but we're just going to let it simmer on low, let some more of that liquid evaporate while we continue to work on our risotto. Our risotto is nearly done as well. So hopefully here in a few minutes I'll be back and we'll talk about how to finish this dish, which is really complex. You dump this in there, cover for just 5 minutes and let it rest. It'll soak up the rest of that liquid. At least, got my fingers crossed that it will. So, guys, just get comfortable. Well, I say get comfortable and we'll be back soon, but for you guys, it's just going to seem like a split second. So my risotto is pretty much done. Now it's got just a tiny little bit of I don't want to say crunch, but it's not as tender as I want. Perfect, because it's going to go in here and absorb the rest of this liquid. So all you're going to do, spoon your risotto over into your chicken alla Aretina. Probably could have even had more risotto. But at any rate, we're going to spoon this over, and then we're going to cover it and let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape this pan, get it covered, then we'll be back. I plated up our Aretina chicken, or Pollo all'Aretina. I kind of wish I would have added another half a cup of risotto. I forgot to add the basil as well. So what I did is, right after I realized I did it, it was resting, so I threw some basil in and stirred that in. Give this a try. See how it turned out. I'm here all alone today. I started cooking dinner. As soon as I started, everybody remembered they had errands to run, so this is just going to have to sit and wait for everybody.
It's good.
The white wine, the chicken stock. It all just came together in happiness, let me tell you. Perfect amount of salt, pepper. A chicken soaked in flavor. Oh my gosh, the risotto. Color-wise, it wasn't pretty. Taste-wise, it's fabulous. So thank you so much for watching POV Italian Cooking. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our webpage, povitaliancooking.com. Email us anytime, povitalian@gmail.com. Most importantly, click that subscribe button in YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and ciao! I'm going to finish eating.